Hello everyone, this is the first video of creating Atlantic model. It will be 270 centimeters model in length. First about the construction of the model. The main part, the keel, would be made of 6 mm wood plate. Because the model is 270 centimeter and the plate is only 1.5 to 1.5 meter, it will be from two parts that will be connected. First I will make the stern section, then move to the bow section. The connection between them would be made of the big wood sinks. They are 45 millimeters squares. They would be two of them on the upper part of the keel and two of them on the lower part. Their main purpose is to make the ship not become this, so it will be always straight. The keel of the model would be around 33 centimeters in this, and around 60 centimeters the model would be in wide. So the keel is 6 millimeters, with the wooden sinks it would be 96 millimeters, and the other sink would be made of the 6 millimeters spangoats. There are 21 of them through the ship. On the stern there was 10 centimeters between each of the spangoat. On the center ship there is 20 centimeters between them, and on the bow there is again 10 centimeters between them. They would be also made of the 6 millimeters wooden plate, and also probably made some of 4 millimeters wooden plate, because I already don't think that all of these wooden parts would have enough space to be on one wooden plate, and I will have only one 6 millimeters plate. The main deck would be also made of wooden plate. I don't know, 6 millimeters or 4 millimeters. At first I want to make it from these things, but after a few times searching I find that even if get 2-3 millimeters of thickness these parts, to make the full main deck it would cost around a few thousand. So I decide to make it from the wood plate, just cut and put it on top. Main deck would be possible to get onto one big wooden plate, because it has length of 270 centimeters, so two parts, and height of 60 centimeters. So when placing two parts on the one plate, it will be 1.2 meters on 1.5 meters. One plate is 1.5 to 1.5 meters, and one plate costs 650 if 6 millimeters and around 500 if 4 millimeters. So it's not a few thousands, and it is better, because I have very limited resources to make the ship, around 30,000 for the full model. The wheels itself would be 3D printed. They will be red as on Arctic, because this is the only picture of Atlantic that I have, and I have to make the ship using only one picture. The wheels is not shown here, but from the video of the Arctic, which is built only half a year after Atlantic it was visible that the wheels is red. I don't know if it is correct, but it looked great, so I will make them red. The cover of the wheel would be also 3D printed because of how much small sticks or what is it is here. All this. So this would be also 3D printed. Also this part, and then I will try to paint it somehow in this, or make the paper, glue the paper with printed on standard printer this thing. The guard around the wheel cover would be made as well as the ship hull from the fiberglass. I never try to make anything from it. I never even have, I don't have any experience with this, but I will try on the ship how it works, try to understand it. So I wouldn't model in any programs this scene, I will just try to make it on the model. Very many things will be make this, because it's very hard to model all these things without any dimensions normal, so I decided to make them already on the model. On the computer I make only the keel, spangoats, main deck, prints, they are this, they should be then cut, put together, then draw on the wooden plate and be cut to become a part actually. So there is a lot of printing, really. A lot of parts was done. For example, this is some of the keel parts. There is 21 of them at all. Spangoats in the center have 3 parts. In the stern, one had 1 part, other have 2 parts. In the bow sections also 2 parts. For example, here is second and 20 spangoat parts. 20 is in the forward, second is around here. Making all these printing parts was hard, because no drawing of the ship is I found. Only this picture, so I have to make everything only based on one picture. Yes. The other thing is masts. They would be made of pipes that using in the systems. I will later show that kind of pipes that will be used. Sails, actually, sails wouldn't be as on this photo. I thought of it for a long time. I want to make the ship have more sails, because this photo only show 1 sail, which is very low and will don't look very great. So my Atlantic model will have 3 sails on the first mast, 2 sails on the second mast, around this actually, no sail at the lower part, and the third mast will have only this back sail. This back sail would be controlled by motor probably. On the second mast I don't know, it can be actually also this sail. I will decide make it or not when the model would be near assembly. Yes, these sails would be deflect a bit in directions so that can help with steering, and they will be controllable from the shore. All other decks, houses and other things on board on the main deck would be 3D printed, I think. It would be a lot of plastic actually. Funnel, I don't decide yet from what it will be. It can be 3D printed, it can be from the ceiling panels done. Yes. The anchors will be exist, they will be working. 2 anchors on both sides. There is motors for anchors, controller, yes. They will work. The problem is I don't know from what to make them. And also chains. Metal chains is probably will be very expensive for this model. So I don't know yet from what I will make them. But they will be exist on the ship, they will be done. About the main hull of the ship. It will be have very many layers. I thought about it for very long time. At first I thought it will be made from the ceiling plates that are very easy to make in needed form, and it will be then covered in paper layer. But after a lot of thoughts, given how our river is looking, at first I think I will make the distance sensors at the bow and the stern section that will measure distance to any underwater objects to help the ship to prevent collisions. But after searching for the sensors, I realized that underwater using is very hard. They're not very good. The ship will have a lot of inertia. It would be actually from 150 to 200 kilograms when on water. It was a lot. And also it would be very hard to make a program for them to actually work correctly. And also would be needed a lot of different modes of the ship. For example, normal mode with the ship sail, emergency mode, emergency terrain escape, gating mode. Because if not this, the sensor will detect the shore when try to make the ship out of the water, and it will be start to turn the ship back into the water. And it's hard to do everything in this plan. And the ship actually, if will strike something, the ceiling plus paper is very easy to destroy, and it will be not very strong. So after a few time I decide to use fiberglass instead. And the ship layers would be one, I will show it. The ship layer would be one layer of the ceiling panels. Yes, to make the ship form wooden spangoats. I don't know how to make fiberglass to actually lay on them as the ship. So they would be a ceiling panels at first layer that they will give the form of the ship. Then the next layer would be the paper as I first thought. The paper with the standard glue. Because fiberglass, as I read in the internet, will destroy the ceiling panels if try to glue directly. So I decided to make a few layers of paper. Then the next layer would be finally the fiberglass. It will be, and actually it would be, in drawing is not very good, but I think it was clear. At all along the ship it would be 3 layers of fiberglass. So ceiling panels, paper, fiberglass, fiberglass and fiberglass. I think it should be strong enough to prevent the ship from getting destroyed by collision with something. I will show our river now. Yes, because it is looking this, it's impossible to know what is underwater. There is just islands in the water, a lot of things like that. So I decided to make the ship more strong as possible and decide to make 3 layers of fiberglass. Actually, if I have fiberglass at the end, maybe I don't use all of it, or I need to buy more. If I don't use all of that, on the bow it will be 4 layers. Yes, just I want to make as strong as possible, because this is a very hard model and I don't want for it to sink in any condition. Now to the interesting parts of the construction. The model will have 5 big pumps. They are here. I will show all these parts a little later. There is a lot of parts actually, not every part is came to me yet, which is interesting also. Model function would be very great. Remote control is also very unusual, because I have only 6 channel control. Now about construction of the manual. The ship will also use one 2560 plate. I hope I would be able to connect everything I want to one plate, and this plate is very important. All remote control inputs would be filtered through it, but that's not all. It will make a lot of work, and the interesting part, the ship will have gyroscopes. So if the ship itself will be weighed from 60 to 80 kilograms, I think. So it's still a lot, but on water, to get to the normal water line, it had to weigh 150 to 200 kilograms, around that. So inside the ship there would be 2 water holders, I don't know how to name them, 2 ballast water holders. One in the bow section and one in the stern section. In the center would be the battery part, where the battery of the ship will be installed. The battery of the ship is car battery. Yes, I need very much amperes from it. The ship should be used 30 to 50 amperes in normal work. So I will install car battery, 12 volts, around 60 hours. So it should give me a few hours of sailing in the river, I hope in that. Actually, on some part of the ship, I don't know where, I will install lights to show the charge rate, because I don't want for the ship to just lose power at a random moment in the sail. And also, I cannot get any information from the ship to remote control, only from remote control to the ship. So only way to indicate something is by lights. Yes. So it will probably can be on the masts, on the deck, in some places where it will be clearly visible from the shore. Back to the water holders, so how to name them. They will be around 35-40 liters each, and they would be 4 pumps controlling this. One pump will be installed. I also want to better draw this. I need ship picture. One of the water will be installed here and the other in the stern section. I hope there will be enough space inside the ship to actually install them, to get it to the real great water line and real great stability to don't roll over. I also want for it to be stable and not like Eastland to just fell onto the side while standing. One motor will be installed at the bow. It will pump the water inside the first bow water, what this is. I don't know the English name of it. The other pump will be pump the water out of it. Third pump will pump the water inside the stern, and the fourth will be pump water out. Standard system, I think. They will not flood at the same time. They will be regulated by the plate. So it will receive the input that, for example, pumps should start flooding that water holders, and also then it will start looking at the gyro about how much angle the ship is now. If the angle of the ship is, for example, this, it will not engage the bow pumps, it will only engage the stern pumps for the stern to come down. If the angle was really big, for example, more than 10 degrees, yes, angle I'm drawing is very big, but it's just to show, because if I will draw these angles, it will be not very clear. If the angle is very big, for example, more than 10 degrees, it will not only 10 degrees to the bow, for example. It will not only engage the stern pumping in, but it will also start pump water out of the bow. So the controller will be very greatly, should keep the balance of the ship. It would be a lot of work to actually program all of these, but I hope it will work as I expected. At first, I actually want to have other type of pumps that will prevent the ship from rolling onto the side. But with these pumps there is a problem. I ordered them in 22 of May. They should come at 9 of June, and now it is already 13 of July and they don't come here yet. So probably I will never see them at all, and I actually think that they wouldn't be very needed already. Now I want to show the how the ship will be look from the, if look on it from the stern of the bow, the center section of the ship. For example, this is how the ship look. Okay. This is the main wooden sink. It should be around the center. Center is probably on this drawing is here. 6 millimeters. Then there is 45 millimeters wood squares at the upper and the lower parts. Yes, the spangoats is also present, but they will be not drawn. Then there is a main deck, 25 millimeters borders they will be here, just to make it look more greater. And the water holders itself was planned to look this. Or probably lower, probably around to the water line, because I didn't want to get weight over the water line in the water. I need to put the center of gravity as low as possible, so it probably would be around the water line, upper part. But the water holders will look this. I need to use very much of the space because I need to pump a lot of water inside of it. So at first I think that I will make pump that will pump the water in different direction in each of that holders, bow and the stern. But then I was unable to find the pump that will pump the water in two different ways. So after this I decide that, for example, on the bow it will be pump the water right, on the stern it will pump the water left. There is two pumps still, so it's not as expensive as 4 pumps, but it will be work as stability as pumping. For example, the ship is rolling right, it will engage the stern left pump and it will roll back to the left. If to the left, it will engage the bow pump. But this system is also have some problems. For example, it will also need to pitch stability effect will have, and I will probably make it this system if I get pumps, but I didn't get pumps at all, so it's probably not. The other thing is that the water can stand just in one thing and cause the ship to roll to one side. This thing is first that I thought even before this pumps, how to make them. So on the lower part there would be a big pipe. It was actually this pipe. It has very big diameter, so that the water can move from side to side on very normal rates. So if one side is too high, the water will be flow to the other side normally. Also, this thing itself was planned to have some walls with small holes on the low side, so that the water will not go very hard to the ship and don't cause very much instability in any axis. But because no pumps, there was now only this pipe that can help roll stability. I don't know if it will actually very great work. Actually, I have very much to thought about when planning the pumps, because if they will pump water from one side to another to help with stability, the water will flow back through this pipe actually. Does this pipe so have any sense to present? Yes, this is all of these pipes that I get. It will be cut in half, and one half will be installed on the bow and one on the stern. Yes, this is one of the parts, and on the main pumps, they will pump water in and out. Will be used these 8 millimeters inside diameter pipe. I have 3 meters of it. I think it should be enough. It's not so very expensive, so if need I can buy more. Also, one more problem is air inside. So there would be some small pipes going to the deck, and actually they would be first to get the air of the water holder out, because when water is pumped in, the air should go somewhere, and also the water will rise, and it will be unknown how much water inside. So if water will start to get out of this, it means that the holder is full of water. It's also some kind of indication. I have ordered 5 water sensors that will give the height, but I think they are shorter than the holder. It will be around maybe 20-25 centimeters in height, so they are not very usable. They just to indicate the water. I have 5 of them, so I will install one in the battery place, it was very 100%, because the batteries shouldn't be with the water, and the sensor should be, and also the 5 pump is would be at the battery deck to pump the water out if the water will be detected, so that the ship will not lose power in the water, because if the water is in the battery deck, something bad is happening and the ship really need power to get to the shore, even though the river is actually quite small. So it is really not very big, it's not a few hundred meters. It can go to the shore very quickly, I think, if something has happened. But the pump at battery deck is needed, and I will put it. And I have 4 remaining water sensors. So I plan to install one in the bow section, one in the stern section, and also 2 of them installed in the water holders themselves, so that the indication cannot be get to remote control, so that at least the controller itself will know if there is a water and how much is it. I think it will be useful. What else? Also, the ship will probably have some kind of cargo hold around the battery deck, battery place. Can I name this thing in the ship the deck? So it will have some small cargo. So because there is some houses here, maybe transport something for ship to be not just sailing model. I want for this to have actually some uses, so it will not just sail on the river from side to side and get back. I don't know will I actually do this, but it is in plans. All I remember I said, so now I think it's time to get to the parts. I have a lot to show. A lot parts didn't yet come to me, but I will show at least these parts. Also talk about the remote control, how it will work, and about how I will do this. Actually, one interesting is that I plan to make it fully manually, so I get these things that are for the wood plates to get to just, I think at first I will do the video, for example, where I 10 hours cutting the keel section from the wooden plate. But very unexpectedly, just 1 week later, 8 days actually, on the 5th of July, I very completely unexpectedly for me, just a second, get this thing. So it should cut, I don't know if with this the assembly can be named as manual creating of the ship. I think yes, because I am controlling it, but I never experienced this. This is first time I get this. I don't know how to use it. I see very many things that can be rotate here, very many buttons, some rotate switches. So I think I will try to figure out how to use this when I will get to the wooden parts, which will be probably actually today or the next day. I have to assemble the ship very quickly because I have only 1.5 months left, so I actually want to assemble it in 1 month. 1 month to create the entire ship. And actually I never experienced this, I never experienced fiberglass, these things. It will be interesting. Also with this instrument comes this thing. I absolutely don't know what this is, for what it can be used, so I want, if anyone knows, to know what this is, what kind of thing should be done with it. And also there is this, I think it is analog of this, to install somehow into this and to cut the wood. Now I will check if the recording is on. Yes, it's on, 37 minutes. I never expect that I will talk about the ship for 37 minutes, but it happened. Also, one interesting, at first, looking at this picture, I think that this is a head. I think that this is the image of some head, so yes, I think that this is the head at first, and I don't know how to do it. And then in the video of Arctic, I just see that this is this. It is much easier to do than to figure out what the head is on it. Also, I see here lifeboats. I think this is interesting part. I don't yet decide, but probably I will make the lifeboat possible to lower, because there is this very unexpensive controllers for the motors present, and I can find very inexpensive motor, a few of them, and makes that when I press some buttons on remote controls, then these things will rotate and then the lifeboat will be lowered. The only problem with this I had is if I lower the lifeboat, it will be lost, because it will not have any control. It will sail some way in the river and it will be impossible to get back. So it is actually questioning idea. The only way if to do this is to make the boat not detaching from the ropes, wires, strings, how to name this thing. So it will be lowered and then it will continue to be getting longer, but the boat will stay on water and it will not somehow detach and stay with the ship. So with this idea it can go on some distance, but it was no longer than the length of the rope that will be lowered. Probably only if do like this, or make the lifeboat just stand on the ship. I see there is probably 4 of them on the Atlantic, 2 on the port side and 2 on the starboard side. Yes, this is something that I am still thinking about. Now to the parts as I want. This thing I already showed. They actually can be not used at all, because now I have instrument big. So the parts. This pipe I already shown. It is just pipe, very big. Also these things was with it. I don't know for what to use them, but they are present. Some circles. These pipes I already shown a little. It was standard pipe, inside diameter 8 mm, outside diameter 12 mm. It will put inside the water holders and into the pumps. The controller is the Mega 2560. I will use this plate probably, or the other plate. I have two plates of this that is not with Mobiflight in it, because I'm creating also the Boeing 727 Flight Engineer panel. So I also use these plates, and to connect them to the simulator, they are different to put in them. So now I have two plates out of four that can be used for the Atlantic. Probably it will be this plate because it was already in this room. Relay module. It has 16 relays. I already had it for some time. There is only around 10 relays that work. I don't know why, but it is 5 volts, and it will be used on the ship. For example, it will turn on pumps, turn power to the motor. Yes, I have very interesting plan. In the ship, in the funnel, there will be installed the some very inexpensive part. It is only cost around 100. That will simulate the effect of the coal burning inside. So I don't know how to name it. It name ultrasonic water something that. It will just give the effect of this coming out of the funnel, so that the boiler is working. So if the ship is not in emergency mode, which will be activated from remote control, now only from remote control, because there is no sensors that can tell that it is coming closer to any ground. So if emergency mode is off, and if the boiler is off, the one of the relay will be not give power to the motors of the wheels. There will be two motors of the wheels. I will show them a bit later. And if engage the boiler, the relay will turn on power. So it's just relays, very simple. Just because the Mega plate has very big limitation on how much power on one pin can be used, relay module. Because these pumps, now come to these pumps, is using 3.5 amperes when work. 3.5 amperes. It's definitely not for the Mega contact. I have two types of these pumps actually. They look this. So why there is water inside? I never use them. These pumps is not very expensive, but they actually around 800 to 900, which is for this project, which is very many, because only 30,000 for all ship. So there is they are 12 volts. They will be through the relays connected, and they will be pump water in and out of the water holders and out of the battery deck. So they have quite big weight, which is for this model is very great, because I need to have very much weight, and it should work. I never tried to engage it, I never tested yet, but I think they should work. So put back into the box. There is 5 of them. I don't will get out every pump, because they are completely the same. The only thing is to make it more inexpensive. I ordered 2 type of pumps, because I made 3 pumps, and then the delivery cost when I put 4 pumps of the same time increased rapidly. It just jumped 2 times when I add the 4th pump. So I add instead 2 pumps of different way. so I don't remember which of them 2 and which of them 3, but there is some pumps that is Afto type and some pipes of Reflux type. I don't know the difference, but they look completely the same, so I think it wasn't something that is very important. And the 5 pumps, what? So there is 5 pumps that I had for the Atlantic. The next thing is this, I already showed it. This is the plate to control the motors. It is for anchors motor, it is not for the wheels. This is I don't think this is a very great plate, so I don't think it can work with the wheel motors. So for the anchors and for the other motors it would be these plates. Then came these two thing. It is anchor motors. They are small and they look this. Motors for the anchors. They are 12 volts, 35 RPM. Yes, only 35 RPM for the chain, because chain anchors it would be heavy weight to be able to get it up actually. Yes, these motors, I show them. I don't think they are very interesting. They are small. Next, controller for the engine, for the motors of the main wheels, and this plate is already big. It is, if I correctly remember, XY160D plate, name around this. It should hold up to 10 amperes, in peak to 50 amperes on motor. So I will use this for the wheels. There is also interesting connectors. Very great. Looks very interesting and very strong. The next box is the motors for the wheels themselves. They are very big, and this is the motors for the wheels. It weighs very much. It is 12 volts, 89 RPM. There is 2 of them for both wheels, and they should be very great at making this ship to actually move, because it is heavy weight, and to get some actual speed. I don't will get these motors very far away, because I want to do something. The next box is this. It is very long, and it is this. I never experienced this. This should be a pneumatic, yes, on very high pressure, and I actually have a very interesting plan on this, because the ship needs to have sound. How name this sound? The ship sound, just the ship sound. When I try to search the that things that create sound when they powered speakers, or how to name them, they are very expensive, a few thousand, and actually they wouldn't be able to hear them from the shore. So I decided to, instead of using some kind of MP3 converter and speakers, I decided to try to make this system. This thing cost only 250, and I want to try to use one servo motor, this thing, and whistle print from the plastic to make it real sound like the steamship should sound, because in real ship there is steam with pressure that get into the whistle, and here is the air with pressure. Probably it should work if I figure out how to normally press on this with the servo motor, or I can decide design any other. So I have this thing and I can try to test it. Yes. I think this is interesting part. I don't have very much ideas about this yet, but I have to figure out something. The next scene, there is a wind in the room, is these very big screws. They are 5 millimeters. Length is, I don't remember, but I think it's 70, if I correctly remember. There is 100 of them around that. They are also not very inexpensive, but I think they are great. And all wooden parts of my ship will be assembled using these screws. Yes, I don't understand why the screw stop here and it's just metal. I don't really understand why there should be a screw through the all part of this, but I think this should be enough to make it very strong. The 45 millimeters wooden rod, so 45 millimeters, 6 millimeters of the wooden plate, and then another wooden rod, so it will give around 19 millimeters into another part. I think this is quite strong, given that there is a lot of them, and they would be screw the whole ship in one piece. Next scene is this. This is for glue for fiberglass. I never experienced any kind of this, and I don't have idea how it was work. But I have 1 kilograms of this and half kilograms of this, and I should mix them, if I correctly understand, and then very quickly put onto the fiberglass that is on the ship. One problem with it, very big problem, is that when search I find that they have very bad smell, and I can't sleep in the room where I working with them, so I have to spend many times to search the thing that will not have any smell. I don't know if it actually no smelled at all, but actually when I will start to make the hole with this, I will have to move sleeping to the other room. And yes, I am creating the ship in the bedroom, in my room. This is the only place where I can create it in without anyone interrupting it or causing any problems. So I will assemble it. This room is 3 meters on 3 meters, and this is why the ship is 270 centimeters, for it to be able to actually move a bit in the room. 3 meters making it in the 3 meter room is I don't think is possible. And for this glue I also have to buy these weight controllers. Weight this thing. It was showing me 0.1 gram. These accuracies, maximum 3 kilograms. I think this is enough. And I also now very interesting to see how much this motor is weighed. 308 grams. A lot. So this is very inexpensive thing. I find the with the least cost this, so they are working and it's just enough. So I will be using this to mix this glue into normal working state. Next is this. This is the power transformator. I will put 12 volts inside it and get 5 volts for all parts like controllers, rudder motor and other things, relay module from it. It present up to 10 amperes, if I correctly understand the specification. So it should be enough to power up all 5 volts part of the ship. Yes, it is more expensive actually than I thought, but I have to make it. I have to buy it because I very need it. The next thing is the servo for the rudder, and this is actually quite great servo because I understand that the ship is quite heavy, so I bought the 40 kilogram servo. It cost more than 1,000, but with 40 kilograms it should be able to move the rudder and to steer the ship normally. It was 5 volts, it will use a lot of current, so I will say a little bit about how I was planned to control it a little later. Because of how the remote control will work on this ship, it was very interesting actually how the servo will be controlled. There will be different angles of rudder deflection, different speeds, yes. And this is the fiberglass itself. It looks very interesting. It doesn't feel like it was material for the ship, but if I correctly understand, when I glue it, it would be very strong, like this and not this. There is 5 meters of it. I hope this will be enough. It's not as expensive as carbon. At first I want to make carbon, but this is much less expensive than carbon, so I decided to use fiberglass. I don't know how much they actually difference, but I will use this. Also the other part, this is actually had been ordered for the Boeing 727 flight engineer panel, but because flight engineer panel need 44 servo motors, and these have 50 servo motors inside, and I actually have 16 more in other room which I still using in the panel, and I don't touch this yet. This also can be used on Atlantic. The problem is that this servo is very small and I don't know what they actually can control. I have some small ideas. The lifeboat, for example, the thing that rotates the lifeboat from in to out of the ship can be moved using this servo. I think I can make the helm on the bridge working. I have actually interesting question about the helm, because I have two different options how to make it. I can make it using servo that it will rotate with the rotation of the rudder, or I can put some kind of position controller as on the panels, so that the helm can be rotated by hand and it will affect the rudder. Actually, this option wouldn't be very needed because on the water it would be impossible to rotate the helm because it was very far from the shore, and this ship is still too small to be able to sail on it myself. I thought about it very many times, but given the weight only 62 centimeters, I don't think it would be possible to get onto the ship and to sail on it. Great idea, but for this the ship should be at least 5-7 meters in length, not around 3. So I think better idea is with the servo motor, so that the helm will rotate with the rotation of the rudder. Now I will talk about the part that didn't yet come to me, that was ordered or not ordered yet. A lot to say here also. As I said, there would be a gyroscope that I didn't yet order, but it will come in a few days if I order it, so it's not a problem. It cost actually expensive, around 300. I think it should cost much less, but it turns out that it costs 300. So I will need to order it. The other thing is water sensors. They already came, but I need to get to the mail house and to get them, which is very hard because it works only a few hours every day, so it is hard to get into it. The other part is the log, black box recorder, how to name it. This ship will have black box. Yes, I think it's very interesting. It will also have the GPS module, which will give speed of the ship and coordinates. Coordinates I don't know for what to use, but I can log them, and very interesting part, I will have the speed information from the ship. So I will be able to after sailing to get home and to actually see how much knots I was get from the ship model. I think it would be very interesting. The recorder black box is only for this, but actually it will record very many parameters. Why not? For example, pump state, motor state, speed, coordinates, many things like that. What else? As I said, the thing that will generate the trail from the funnel is also here, but I need to go and pick it to the home. Probably some other parts was already ordered. Now to the part that is not ordered, that they would be needed. The first part is very expensive, and it is car battery. Yes, I didn't order it yet, but it cost around 5,000. One of how to say this? 1/6 part of the all ship cost. So it was not very great, but I will need it. Also the charger for the car battery I need. I think it's logical, because if I have battery, I have charger. Charger is also expensive, around 700, but it is normal. It can be done. The other thing is is very small things, such as pipes for the masts, some ropes. I know what I will use for them, but I probably cannot show it yet, because I didn't think I have this. I have this at home, but I don't remember where it. Yes. So parts like this, I think, can be bought at any time, because they can be found in the shops in my city, so it's not very big problem to find pipes, ropes and this thing. So I didn't try to search them on the internet. Now I want to talk about the problems of the ship before going to the remote control system, because the ship actually would have some really interesting and big problems when building. The first problem I encounter will actually be very soon. But yes, I will start from this problem, and it is the water holders themselves. I plan to them using a plastic. So there is a lot of, I plan to get a lot of 5-liter bottles from the water. They are plastic, they are great. Cut them, cut parts from them, and then assemble it into the water holders. 2 years ago, for example, I have tens of these bottles at home, 20, 30 of them, very many. But now, when I need them to do the water holders for the ship, I just realized that there is only one bottle at home. Only one. I need to do two 40 liters water holder, and I have only one 5-liter bottle. This is wasn't nearly enough plastic to make it, and I don't know where to actually get the empty 5-liter plastic bottles. Where actually, how to get them? This system was already fully planned. I was already know how it was supposed to look like. I have pipes, pumps, every such thing, and now I just don't know where to get bottles to make it. So I was planning to start assembly from the stern. I will make the stern, then center, bow, all spanglets, and after this I have to make these water holders. So today is 13, so this part of assembly I want to come at 16 or 17. I don't know how to make it. There is no resources for this. So it would be a very hard thing to make them actually. This is the first really big problem of the ship that I will face. Just a few days. Next problem. Painters can be bought. I will paint the ship in black. Here I will paint in very bright yellow Atlantic. On the back in very bright yellow there will be Collins Line SS Atlantic. I can actually show them. The back part of the ship will look this. It will be painted in this. It will be more great, because here it looked like it was moved too much here, but it will look this. Yes, I also can show now. This is the main deck. I didn't yet print it because there is 37 pieces of paper needed to print it, and I don't need it very now, so I don't print it yet. And this is all parts of Atlantic. There is keel parts, spanboat parts that was already printed. They are what? They are here, and they are actually really these parts. So this is very big actually. I work on this without video recording, because I work on this very long time, just periods. Just make a few parts and wait for the next time. So I didn't have any video recording of making this. The first video is just this talking about what I am planning to do, what it would be, and in the first video I also will cut the parts from the paper. About a video recording. I plan to do the 2 different recordings. Actually, I record one time. I will record every part of real building of the ship, except the computer working, because it's not very interesting, I think. Because explain computer work, no one watch. So Atlantic computer work will not be shown. I will not show how I modeling everything, how I preparing, only real work. And the first videos would be like this. I will work on them in the program and make into the normal standard video, maybe 2-3 hours for one video, and the other videos would be without any work on them. It will be just real-time building of the SS Atlantic. I will put them into the 11 hours videos. Even if I work less, more, I will just put them into 11 hours videos, and it will be just real-time building, without cutting anything, without faster speed when I do anything. So for example, I will cut these maybe 100 pieces of paper. I don't think that I will put it into the standard video like this. I think it would be a more speed. I will put in 2-4 times, so it would be look very fast. And for people who want to watch the building process in real time, I also will do these videos. So where there would be nothing in fast speed, nothing cut, just video of the process. I think it should be interesting also. Back to the Atlantic problems. The squares. I think a lot of them. I don't understand if this actually is a square or what is it. The picture is too low quantity, too low quality, if it is actually correct word. The squares wouldn't be probably present, or they will be drawn. I think very much about making them holes with some back, but this is dangerous for the ship because it is holes. I think a lot about putting some kind of light that should somehow be able to make the lightning through all these layers. And after all, I decide if I will even make squares, windows, or how to name them. They will be just painted. Yes. They will not have any lightning. They will be just paint. The houses on the deck, if they had windows, will have lightning inside, so they will be light. The holes in the ship is not. Now the next problem is actually very interesting, and I don't know any solution problem. And the problem is the flags. I don't want to make them from the paper because they will not look as flags. They will be just paper. Finding a real flags is impossible because where I will find, for example, Collins Line flag or USM flag, male flag. Even if I would be able to find them, it will probably cost hundred thousands, much more than the ship itself. So I didn't have ideas. This flag on the forward mast, first mast, I don't even have ideas what is it. These three flags I managed to understand what is it. There is a standard USA flag, United States male flag, Collins Line flag, and what is this? And because this picture didn't have normal colors, I can't even try to make it myself, because it is just gray square with some white point here. What is it? Yes, I don't know how I will make them, but probably in the end I would have to make them from the paper. Why not from any kind of... this is how I print on this. I have only one printer that is print on the paper. So it is only possible to print on the paper for me. I cannot print on the clothes, fiberglass or anything this. So it was a very hard problem. It can be solved by paper, but I just want to make it more realistic. And the biggest problem of the Atlantic is probably over. As I say before, the chain of the anchors and the other small things, but these are not very that bad. And now I want to talk about the remote control. Another very interesting thing, because Atlantic would have very many different functions, and I only have 6-channel remote control. So, and this is where this plate became the main part. Actually, no control would be connected directly from the receiver to any part of the ship. Everything will be connected through the 2560 plate. This has very many things. The motors of the wheels will be connected through this thing is to help with the steering in emergency mode, because I plan to, for example, when I entered that the ship is in emergency mode, for example, it was getting very close to the shore, I see it, and I need to very quickly do something, I engage the emergency mode, and it will become more controllable. The plate will understand this, and then the steering control will not only go to the rudder, but to the wheels themselves. Which means that if I input full left, and with the emergency mode, the plate will put 0 power on the port wheel and maximum power on the starboard wheel. Actually, if the maximum power is here, if power is a bit less, then it will put less power on the starboard wheel, but reverse power on the port wheel, as well as moving the rudder. And this is where the rudder is came. On the normal mode, it will turn 25 degrees into each side. In emergency mode, it will turn 35 degrees into each side. and also it will turn at more speed. Now about the speed of the rudder. Because this is 40 kilograms motor, it will have very big current when it will start turning. So if I, for example, do this, it will want to very quickly turn. The current can get up very high, and the volts can get down, and the ship can actually lose power to this plate, and it would be very, very bad. I don't know if it can probably very fast and great recover from this, but it would be very bad thing. So to prevent this, even if I input very rapidly full deflection, the plate will get this inputted value and then add angle to the motor slowly. So if I input, for example, rapidly from 0 to 225, it will start inputting not this to the motor, but in the line. On the normal mode, it will input slowly. In the emergency mode, it will input a bit quicker, because this is emergency mode and I need to steer quickly. So this is first to get these different angles option controlling through the plate, not directly, and also to prevent the complete shutdown of the ship, which is very, very important. The ship shouldn't lose power just because too rapid input. The other thing about remote control again. There is also third channel would be used. It is this direction. So this is motor speed, this is rudder, and this would be this aft sail. So aft sail I decide to put on the different direction. So I don't know for what it can possibly, but it can be turned, for example, in different directions as the rudder. I think it is interesting, just why not? Maybe the sails wouldn't be used at all in direction control, so for example, the sails wouldn't be probably moved from remote control, because I don't know how to realize it with 5 sails and one this. The sails will be set on the shore, and then they will stay in the set state, all sailing. So if, for example, I decide to keep this sail closed, not open, closed, then I don't need to rotate this mast stick. I don't know how to name it. So I put it on the different channel. I will put it. And now to the most interesting part. This 6 channel functions of the ship is very much. So how I plan to control them? Maybe the question. And this is where these 2 switches came. So I will plan the actually code system. I think it's very interesting, very unusual, but this is the code will contain 2 numbers. One is 0 or 1, and the other is from 0 to 8 or possibly more. So this is 0, this is 1. 0, 1. This switch is the second number. And if I want to input very different functions, I will need to input on this switch and also look at this switch. I don't yet fully design the tables of the codes that will be used, but for example, for dropping the anchor, it will be probably 03. So how I will input it? This switch I make sure that is 0, so up. Then I will input this switch one time up and put it back. At this point, when the switch moves upwards, this plate will start 2-second timer. Then I will put this switch 3 times in different direction back into the center. after 2 seconds passed, the counting of the how much time and reverse direction of the switch stop, and it will execute the command. So for example, there is center position, up position and down position. Code started only from the up position. Yes, I plan to do this. So if move to the down position, nothing will happen. So move up position, this is 1. Now move down, this is counted as 2, up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is how input the codes. And this is the first number just to make the functions more. So with this I can make 9 functions, with this 18. Or actually more, but it was very hard to count this switch with many time, because only 2 seconds. So, for example, dropping the anchor is this, no, it's much, is 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's actually need to be very careful, need some training in this. I just get the thoughts, for example, raise the anchor, 1, 2, 3, back. It also can be left in the upper place, for example, 1, 2, 3, so to not get into the down place. This is just for safety, because you can activate the different functions then. Engaging the funnel, for example, disengaging the funnel. Yes, this is very interesting system. I actually would be very interesting to have third switch, because this is only 5 channels connected. But as I able to understand all these settings here, the 4 channels should be on these sides, and I cannot put 3 channels on this and 3 channels on the switches. So there is only 2 switches, because making some to see the input of this axis is not very great, because it can be moved accidentally when moving the rudder, so it's not a great idea. So it would be only 3 axes here and 2 switches here. So I design my own remote control system based on the 6 channel and the code inputs. Now I only have to build the chip and then write the program for it to actually work. So probably this is all about remote control. What else can be said? I also want to show some other things. Yes. Now I will turn the camera here. And here you can see this pipe, and this is actually very close, I think, to the pipes that I will be using on Atlantic for the masts. Yes, just pipes. They are quite not very strong, but because it will be very many ropes connecting it to the deck, I think it should be strong enough. About the diameters I don't yet decide, but I think I will be able to find all needed pipes and make it. Yeah, so mast would be done from pipes. Now to the opposite side. Yes, this is the room where I will create it. You can actually see how small it is. And this is the wooden plate 6 mm that I talk a lot about. It is 1.5 to 1.5 meter, and it would be used for the keel, for the some of the spanglets. I don't think they all can be placed here. It was actually probably too small, so I have 4 mm plate here. It was actually more than a year already at me. It's not full. I already made something from it, but I have it. And this is the wooden rod. So what is it? 45 to 45 millimeters. They are from 2 to 2.5 meters. There is 5 of them. I plan to buy more of them actually, at least 10 these things, and they will be used to get the ship very big strong. So they attach in the ceiling. So this is 45, and one this wooden rod is have not small weight, which is great. Also, I now remember the problems that about Atlantic that will be present, but I don't very much think of them, and they probably will be. How much height I need? Yes, probably I'm not visible. How? So the other problem of the Atlantic that will be probably present and that would be hard is to get it out of the home. This is the fourth floor. The ship will be weight 60 to 80 kilograms, and I need to somehow get it to the first floor and to the street, and somehow then get it back here. Yes. I cannot even imagine how I will make this. I know how I will make it on the street, move it on the street. I plan to make from the pipes and some kind of wheels, some kind of things that the ship can be placed on top, and just moved as on the wheels. Normal wheels that can move on the street. Into the water it will also get onto this thing, just pushed and into the water. Then activate the pumps, it will set to the water line, to the stability, and then move it. But getting it up to the fourth floor or down to the first floor through the very small place is actually hard task. I don't know how I will make it. Also, I'm alone. I didn't have any friends to help me, so I have to make it one person somehow, and the ship will weigh 60 to 80 kilograms. The other probably problem is this: how to storage the ship. Where? Because it would be in one piece. It would be 270 centimeters. With the wheels it would be around meter, and 1 and 7, 1 and 8, I don't know, I didn't count the masts yet, meters, so it would be just a very, very big model. This is the normal flat. Where I will plan to storage it is actually a great question. But I will think about it when it will be already finished, as always. Yes, what's more? Probably it will be in the main room, close to the window, so I will need to make it looking very great, very accurate, so it can be used as a decoration at home, because it is probably the only place where it can stand. In this room it will be not standing no way, because I need to sleep. I need to put the my what this is, lower it to become a bed, so there will be no space for the ship. When I will build it, the bed would be in this state, so I have enough space to make it, even though it would be only 30 centimeters to the wall remaining on the whole ship. But when I need to sleep, it will be a big problem, because it will not be able to put the bed or to store the ship here. So I really think that the only one place I can store it is in the next room, close to the window. But there is actually not very much space in this here. So it can become a problem, but only the problem for the future. So it's not very bad now. Also, probably very interesting to talk about why Atlantic. I think many have this question. Why I decide to make Atlantic and not other ship? This is interesting. I think for a long time about what I want to make, and there was 4 big variants of the ship that I want to make. That I decide between to make. It is Atlantic from the Collins line, Pacific from the Collins line, Indian and Hungarian. So all of them looking very great. Actually, Pacific and Atlantic is very close, and given the information I had about them, only one photo. It is probably that my ship Atlantic can be named Pacific as well. But I decided to print Atlantic on its side, so yes. Why not Indian or Hungarian, for example? They are looking very great. I actually very long time think about them, but they have propellers, not the wheels on the sides. And I want to make the wheels on the side and not propellers, because with the propellers somehow need to secure the motor from the water, which is hard, and also secure the propellers from from everything that is floating in the river, because it will start turning onto itself very many things given our river. So it's not very great idea to make propeller. So I decided to make the ship with wheels on the sides. It is much easier to monitor how clean they are. It is much easier to make, to secure the motors from the water. So I think this is a great idea. And also the rudder is easier to do when there is no propeller very close to it. Now between the Pacific and Atlantic, I think very long time on it, but then at some moment I just decided to make Atlantic. I don't know why. I just at some point think and then just say I will make Atlantic. That's all I can say. So so my first ship model, actually the first model of the ship that I will make in my life, would be Atlantic, and it would be nearly 3 meters long. Also then I noticed that there is another Atlantic present, much bigger, 4-mast ship, but it also propellers, it 4 masts is harder, and in this scale I think it would be too much masts. So Atlantic I decided to make Collins line, and now I have actually problem, because I can, if I write to anyone that I make an Atlantic, that people will probably think that I will make that second Atlantic from 1870s, not that Atlantic from the 1850s. But this is actually not very big problem, because I can just write Collins line very close to the Atlantic, and it will be clear. To actually I don't think it's clear, because I don't think very much people knew about this ship. But if you search in the internet Atlantic with the Collins line, it will be very easy to find what I mean. So it's just an interesting thing. I don't think I have very much to say more. Now I will go and start cutting the paper parts. Start cutting all these paper parts. I think it's a great idea, because I have only 1 month to finish the ship, and I really wanted to do as quick as possible. So cutting. I have still 4.5 hours of the work without anyone getting into the home, so I can make very much. But cutting all this paper, which is very much of the paper, will actually take some time. So today I think I will only able to cut all the paper parts and put them into one parts using the Scotch tape. And I will move to the wood only tomorrow, I think. Yes. So I will cut the paper in this video as well, because I want to make the video long. And for this part, that's all. Now I will move to the cutting parts. I will actually do some rework to make me more space on this table to cut parts, because I will work on this table. Okay. That's all for this. Now to the paper. Parts from paper, cutting all these printed things. I will use this to cut it. One small wooden rod, this part of a wooden plate, and then I will put parts together into a complete part using Scotch tape. I will start from the most upper list, which is part S, то есть S means Spangold, 15, second part. It is from the center, closer to the bow. I actually can cut it without wooden rod. I think it would be quicker using wooden rod, so I will use it actually. There is not very much to say, so I think I will get this part of cutting to more speed. Only moments where I saying something probably will be in normal speed. Where is the part of the animation? ref. Put it here. Not very. I finally finished cutting all parts, small parts. This is keel parts, this is Spanguts parts. There is very many of them. I did not expect at all that this will take so much time to cut all parts small. So assembly into the bigger parts that will be drawn to the wooden plate would be probably tomorrow, as well as first cutting parts of the wood. Probably this is the end of the first video, because it was already very long. So all parts, small parts was done.